if you can grab yourself a strap, a long sock, a tie, some kind of long object that you can use. So for me, with my mat, it came with this strap that I can wrap around it when it's rolled up and carry it, but it also works as a strap. So this is what I'm going to be using. So grab yourself a strap and come to a seated position on your mat. And as always, start by anchoring yourself into your seated position by finding your sitting bones and rooting into them. Close your eyes and begin to find your breath. Sorry, I forgot my volume was at max. So find your sitting bones, find your seat, root into the earth. With your eyes closed, begin to slow your breathing down. Feel your belly expand in your lap. And exhale, release any tension you're holding right now. On your next exhale, draw your belly button to spine, repositioning your spine, drawing your tailbone down. Inhale, let your belly expand. And exhale slower than you want to. Inhale, inflate your belly and inflate your chest as much as you can. Exhale. Draw your neck back so it's in line with the rest of your spine, and inhale, draw the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, lengthening your body. Imagine that through the crown of your head, the lifting that's happening is holding the rest of your spine in perfect alignment. Often in life, the number one thing that we need to concern ourselves with is finding balance. The balance between doing what we love and doing what helps us grow. The balance between surrendering to the moment and putting in effort to achieve what we want. Balance between surrender or fighting for what you want. When do you keep pushing and when do you let go? Life is a never-ending game of balance, and it's a practice for life. When we practice following our hearts and doing what we love and balancing that with surrendering to the moment, with accepting what is, with releasing control over what we are unable to control. Then we're able to flow with life. We're able to reach for what we want and put in the work without driving ourselves into the ground. We're able to move past limiting beliefs that keep us in the same place and reach for what we love, for what we want. And if we don't know what we want, what that is, then at least we can reach in the direction of what we love. Learning and discovering that at each step of our lives. Bring your hands to heart center and bow into your heart. Give yourself a moment of thanks for coming today. Roll over onto your hands and your knees. We're going to start by waking up the spine. Make sure your toes are curled under, knees are under your hips. Hands are just on the outer edge of your shoulders. Fingers are spread wide. Wrist creases pointing forward. Claw your fingers into the mat so you're plugging in through all four corners of your palms. Really feel into the foundation of your hands. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your sitting bones, lift your gaze. And exhale, curve your spine towards the ceiling, tailbone comes in, gaze looks in. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, spine to ceiling. Continue pulsing with your breath, warming up the spine, slowing down our breathing, and linking our movement with our breath. Two more breaths here. Let's make them count. Try drawing in your air even slower. Last one. Inhale to a neutral spine and sit back onto your feet with your toes curled under, giving the backs of your feet a little stretch. Don't put all of your weight on your feet if you feel that this is difficult for you. This is just beginning to stretch out your feet, your thighs. This is your thunderbolt posture. Come on into a tabletop position, and with your hands in their proper foundation, plugged into the mat, really claw your fingers into the mat for some strength here. Draw your belly button to your spine, and inhale, lift your knees just an inch off the ground. Exhale. Inhale, lift them another inch. Exhale. And inhale, slower than you want to, up and back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. And then come into stillness, drawing your heels towards the earth and simultaneously pressing into your hands. 3 breaths here. Beautiful. Step or hop up to the top of your mat, looking up to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, hands to your shins, shoulders onto your back, neck comes back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, sweep your arms up and overhead. Palms together and down through heart center, alongside your hips. We're gonna move into some balancing poses today. So just find your foundation in your mountain pose. Pedal out your feet. Find the four corners of your feet right underneath your hip bones. Feet are in number 11s, so they're not pointing outwards or inwards at all. Bend into your knees. Feel the four corners of your feet. Maybe lift your toes for a moment. You can relax your toes to the earth, maintaining that engagement in your arch. Tuck your tailbone. Begin to straighten your knees, and as you do, draw that alignment up your core, up your shoulders, which open, and your palms flip to the sides of the room. Bring your the nape of your neck back, so your head is not jetting forward at all, and your head should not be sucked into your neck, but just drawing your neck in line with the rest of your spine. This is not and should not be uncomfortable, but it might feel unusual. So feel the foundation of your mountain pose. Maybe maintaining a slight micro bend in your knees. You can bend them again and then just straighten them slowly, and before they reach that point where they shift, maintain that strength. Shift your weight to your left foot. Bring your right foot to the inside of your left heel like a kickstand, or you can lift your left foot right underneath your knee, or you can lift your left foot to the inner lining of your upper thigh above your knee. So we never rest our foot on our knee. We don't want that pressure going against our knee. I'm gonna be here today, but sometimes I go a little bit lower. It depends on the day and it depends on what you feel like. So make sure if you need, you've got a balancing object around you for support. Your tailbone is drawing down to the earth. Feel into the foundation of your feet. Let your knee, your right knee, come to the side of you, and really try to position your torso so it's facing forward. Your torso should not be following your knee. Let your knee come open. You can leave your hands on your hips or down, or elevate your branches. Fingers come in, pinkies start twisting back. That helps you open up through your chest and bring your shoulders onto your back. And it's okay if you sway. Trees sway. They sway in the breeze. So let whatever breeze comes sway you, and have faith in your strength and stability. You can see if you can elevate even higher. Maybe look up a little bit. Beautiful. Draw your knee in in front of you, and then slowly lower your right foot down. Pedal your feet out here. Find your mountain pose. Find that foundation, your strength, and your stability in your mountain pose. So once again, my favorite way to find mountain pose is to first always start with your foundation in your feet. Bend your knees. While your knees are bent, tuck your tailbone. Imagine that your tailbone is drawing down to the earth. As you straighten your legs, bring your belly forward, your chest up and back, and then have that soft micro bend in your knees. Feel that foundation. Make sure your neck is back. Pivot to your right foot, just shifting your weight over to your right leg. Bring your left foot to the inner edge of your your right ankle like a kickstand. Now you can stay here, or you can lift your foot to your shin, right below your knee, or you can lift your foot to your inner lining of your upper thigh, right above your knee. Bring your tailbone down as your root, always maintaining that foundation that alignment in our body. Open up your left hip to the left side of the room. And as you do, make sure your torso is facing forward. You can leave your hands on your hips or down, or you can inhale your branches of your tree up. Palms face each other, pinkies start spinning backwards. It's okay if you sway. Maybe give yourself a little smile here. You don't have to take everything so seriously all the time. If you're able to, and only if you feel called to, look up. See how that lengthens your tree. How you grow towards what your gaze follows. Do you want to grow up? Or do you want to grow down? Our focus has so much power behind it. Are you going to look at what you're lacking? Where you quote unquote are failing? Or are you going to look at what you want, what you dream for, where you want to go? Reach for it. Inhale your palms together. You can draw your knee forward in front of you and slowly lower your left foot down. Draw your hands through heart center and alongside your hips. Bend into your knees and inhale, scoop your arms up. And exhale, palms down, forward fold. Plant your hands and step back into a high plank position. Tuck your elbows into your sides. If you need, drop your knees to the mat and lower down to the earth. Untuck your toes. Inhale, press into your hands, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, curl over your toes and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up and overhead. And exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Drop your left heel so you're in a front heel to back arch alignment. And windmill your arms parallel to the earth, pointing to the front and back of the room. This is your warrior two. So with your feet in a front heel to back arch alignment, your hips should be opening to the wall beside you. Really feel your hips opening, mostly through your front thigh, your right thigh. Lunging into your front knee, your knee is tracking over your ankle, and then really activate the back muscle of your left thigh. Feel your energy radiate through your fingertips. And notice that with all the energy that you give, you don't lose any. You get it right back. That's the warrior energy. What you give your energy to fuels you. Feel the strength of this pose. Exhale to empty. Inhale, drop your left arm, lift your right arm up and overhead, reversed warrior. Inhale to warrior two. And exhale, drop your right forearm to your left thigh, to your right thigh, and lift your left arm up and overhead. Side ankle pose. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, reverse warrior. We're gonna flow like this for a few more breaths. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, reverse warrior, warrior two. And exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. This time, plant your hands to frame your front foot and step back into a downward facing dog. Breathe and let your heels sink into the earth while pressing into your hands. Come high onto the ball mounds of your back feet and lower down. Inhale, come up onto the ball mounds of your feet. Exhale, lower down. 2 more breaths like this. Inhale up, exhale, lower down. Let your weight into your heels. 1 more breath. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back behind you. And exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Drop your right heel so you're in a front heel to back arch alignment. Windmill your arms up so they're parallel with the earth. Fingers pointing to the front and backs of the room. Now open up your hips here. Make sure your knee is tracking over your front ankle and that your back thigh is firm and engaged. Tailbone points down. Belly button's in, but we still allow our belly to open and expand with every breath. Look over your front fingertips. Feel your energy beam from you. Use your breath to cultivate your energy. Exhale to empty. Inhale to reverse warrior. Right arm drops, left arm comes up and overhead. Take a breath here. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, drop your left forearm to your left thigh. Right arm comes overhead, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. We're gonna pulse here a few times for a few breaths. Warrior two. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Follow your own breath rhythm. One more breath. And exhale, frame your hands around your front foot and step back into a downward facing dog. Beautiful. Come high onto the ball mounds of your back feet and roll your weight forward so you're in a high plank position on the tips of your toes. You can drop your knees here if you need to. Tuck your elbows into your side, lower down. Untuck your toes. Press into your hands, upward facing dog or cobra. Come onto your knees. Bring your big toes together and make your knees wider than hip width apart. With your arms extended in front of you, bring your glutes towards your heels and melt. This is your child's pose. Take a rest here. Beautiful. From child's pose, you can roll over onto your back. Grab your strap if you've got one, or something that you can use that's long and sturdy. If you don't have a strap, that's absolutely okay. You're just gonna grab your leg here. Excuse me. So lie onto your back. Extend your left leg out in front of you and just have your right knee bent for now. We always find our foundation, so make sure that the curve in your neck is not too pronounced, meaning you might need to tuck your chin a little bit to draw that curve down towards the earth more. Bring your shoulder blades onto your back, opening up your chest and creating more support. And maybe just scoot your tailbone down a little bit if you need to lower that curve in your low back. Take your strap and take your right foot, put it on the ball mound of your right foot. And then first we're just gonna flex our foot. But then with your toes staying flexed, can you point your foot? So your toes are flexed. It's kind of like you're flointing. You're like flexing and pointing. And press into your strap. At the same time you're pressing into your strap, pull it with your arms against your leg. So it's like creating an isometric contraction. See if you can pull the strap back a little bit towards, bringing your leg a little bit in more towards you. We're really engaging and activating our leg, pressing up into the strap. Beautiful. Bring the strap, just let it kind of fall to the right. Maybe there's something blocking you that you can't let it fall all the way. That's okay. Maybe you can't fall all the way. Just activate, actively hold your leg. So you're holding it, you're pushing against the strap. You shouldn't really be resting on whatever is around you. So it doesn't matter how far you can go. Your leg is holding itself. Bring it into the middle and press up. Pull it back if you can at all. And then let your leg drop over to the left side. You should be feeling a juicy stretch here. Make sure your leg is still actively pushing against the strap. I know this is tough, guys. You're doing awesome. It's okay if your leg's got a bit of a shake to it right now. It will not fall off. Bring your leg back to center. You can remove the strap and then slowly lower your leg down. Beautiful. So it might feel longer than your left leg now. So let's get some balance going. Bend your left leg, get that strap around the ball mound of your left foot. Flex your foot and then point, leaving your toes flexed. Push into that strap as you pull the strap towards you, and then bring your leg just as close as you can into your body without hurting yourself. Remember that discomfort guides you to your growth, but we never want to move through pain. That is the balance. We work for where we want to end up. So if we want to be more flexible, if we want to feel better in our bodies, it might be a little uncomfortable getting there, but it should never be painful. Now begin to let your left leg drop to the left side of the room, pushing against the strap and still pulling. So your leg is not resting anywhere. It shouldn't be resting on the floor. It shouldn't be resting on anything. Use your strength here. Engage. breath. Bring your leg up to center. Press into your strap as you pull the strap towards you. Bring your leg a little bit closer in towards you. Maybe pulling with the strap. And slowly lower your leg towards the right side. Always still pressing into the strap. You should feel a really juicy stretch here. Breathe. Push against the strap as you pull the strap towards you. Maintain that activation, that strength in your legs. Breathe. Your breath powers you and it softens you. It's the perfect tool for balance. Never forget your breath. Inhale your leg to the center. You can remove the strap and slowly lower your leg down to the earth. So they should be feeling about equally as long now. Bring your hands up and overhead and give yourself a stretch. Beautiful. Sit up and leave your legs extended in front of you. Just adjust your sitting bones so they're rooted into the earth, of course. Grab your strap here and wrap it under the ball mounts of your feet. Flexing your toes, just like you were before, but this time flexing your toes more towards your face. Press into the strap with the ball mounts of your feet as you pull yourself forward and melt towards your thighs. So your gaze can look down towards your thighs where your heart should be pointing. If your heart is pointing up, then your gaze should be looking up. If your heart is pointing down, then your gaze should be all the way down. So maybe you're somewhere in between. Make sure your gaze follows your heart. Bring your neck back. Just suck your neck back so that it's in line with the rest of your spine. Awesome, guys. We're giving our legs so much love here. Breathe love into your legs. One more breath here. Good, and release your strap. Bring the soles of your feet together and just give your legs a little bit of a flap. Grab your feet. See if you can pull them in even more towards your groin, and then just with your elbows, see if you can press them into your thighs, pulling your torso even more in between your thighs and pressing your thighs down with your elbows. Can you breathe here? Use your hands to close your legs like a book so we don't contract muscles that we've just stretched. Extend your legs out in front of you and give them a shake. Great. So roll over onto your hands and knees. Find your foundation, press into your hands and come up into a downward facing dog. Inhale, take a big juicy breath. Exhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you and draw it into your core. Inhale back. Exhale towards your left elbow. Inhale back. Exhale towards your right elbow. Drop your knee. Let your right foot come in towards your hip. And just draw your left foot back a little bit. So we're coming into a pigeon here. You can come high up onto your hands. Feel that beautiful juicy stretch along the front of your left hip. Your left toes should still be curled under, so the top of your left foot is not on the floor. Your toes are giving you support. Your toes are helping with your stretch. And when we're in this Royal King Pigeon where we're sitting up like this, we get that beautiful juicy stretch in the front of our left hip. So breathe and feel that stretch. Exhale, fold over your front leg to feel the stretch in your outer right glute. If you can't feel that stretch, imagine that you're energetically drawing your glute back or sitting it down more towards the earth. So there should be no way that you're not feeling this. Draw your glute down and back. If you're able to, melt your forehead to the earth. This is your sleeping pigeon. And instead of stretching your front hip here, this stretches the back of your opposite glute. Come up a little bit. And press into your hands so you can come back into a downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Exhale, draw your left knee to belly. Inhale back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. And back. And inhale, left knee to left elbow. Drop your left knee. Scoot your right foot back so your left foot is kind of meeting your right hip crease. And come up high onto your fingers, onto your hands, pressing into the ground and giving you that front body stretch. If you cannot feel that stretch in the front of your right hip, activate the muscles in the back of your thigh. On your next exhale, melt forward into your sleeping pigeon. Energetically draw your left glute down and back. And see if you can melt your forehead to the earth. If you can't, you can grab some blocks to rest your head on. Just melt. If you can't feel this in your glute, then I recommend you bring your shin, your left shin, just a little bit more forward so it's less tucked in towards your body. So that will help you get more of a stretch on your outer glute. Beautiful. Come up onto your hands, press into your hands, and up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up behind you. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your mat. Reach for some blocks if you've got them and put them just ahead of you, or have a balancing object in front of you. Press in, so really lunge into your front leg, your right leg, and then come up so that your left leg is lifted and you're balancing on your right leg. Your torso is folding and you're reaching for your balancing objects here. I'm just gonna point this so you can see me a little better. I've got my hands on my blocks. My left leg is up behind me. I'm imagining there's a magnet on the back of my heel that's drawn towards the ceiling. There is a micro bend in my right knee, and that bend is actually much bigger than usual because that's what's helping me melt forward. Beautiful. Drop your left foot to meet your right foot and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands and step back into a downward facing dog. And just pedal out your feet here, going from one side to the other slowly. Maybe you notice your heels are coming down closer to the earth now than they were at the beginning of the class. Inhale your left leg up behind you, and exhale, step your right foot between your hands, drop your stay high onto the ball mound of your left toes. And then kick your right heel up. Melt your torso. Micro bend in your standing leg. Melt your torso forward as you lift your right heel up behind you. This is your standing splits. One more breath, make it count. Drop your right foot to meet your left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Palms together and down through heart center alongside your hips. Come to your mat, onto your backs. Grab your knees and just roll from side to side for a moment. Extend your legs out in front of you, wider than hip width apart. Let your feet fall to the sides of the room. Tuck your shoulder blades onto your back. Reduce the curve in your neck. Let your palms flip open. And let your body breathe itself. See if you can step out of the way and let your body just be. begin to find some movement in your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet, wrists and ankles. Bring your feet together and bring your hands together overhead. Give yourself a stretch. Roll over onto your right side using your right bicep as a pillow. Rest for a moment. And press into your hands and come up to a seated position on your mats. Sometimes balance can look like each and every moment having just enough of this and just enough of that. But sometimes balance looks like outright taking a break, or outright working your butt off. And sometimes it's about finding the perfect in between in each and every moment. So can you in your life find more balance? Whether that's combining effort and ease in each moment, or knowing when you need to go fully into ease or fully into effort. Know that with your will, you can lead yourself where you want to go. But we can't do that without balance. So my wish for you today is that you try to find balance in any and every way that you can. Have your peace, have your ease, and also make some effort. The light and shadow in me bows to and acknowledges the light and shadow in each of you. Namaste. Take a moment to thank yourself for coming today. I thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoy your day.